Live from Chicago, ABC 7 Eyewitness News at 5 continues.
Time now for our Money Saving Mondays. Well, the cost of college tuition can range from $10,000 or $15,000 to nearly six figures annually. It all depends on where you go. Craig Bolanos, co-founder and CEO of Wealth Management Group, joins us this morning with some tips on what to do when financial aid just isn't enough. Good morning, Craig.
Good morning. I mean, Tanya, what an expensive proposition trying to get through our undergraduate work.
And I know so many of us parents stress from early ages about saving, and it just feels, it feels impossible to save as much as you need. Now, how much does the average student receive in financial aid?
Well, you know what? The average student may sincerely get almost half of their college tuition through some form of aid. Now, aid is not necessarily free money. We have to break it down into different components, but this is becoming the avalanche issue in American financial planning, and that's why I think people really need to pause, be intentional, and start getting creative when it comes to paying for college.
So students are going to start getting their FAFSA package. They've got their FAFSA forms in. They're getting the package offers from universities and deciding, well, where are we going to go? Question is, though, when you can't, when there's a gap between what the university is offering in terms of financial package and what you can afford. What do you recommend to close that gap? How do you get creative?
Well, I think everybody knows that borrowing money for college is just a part of the game, a part of the expectation. Now, don't get me wrong. Many parents and students can find ways to make choices to not have to borrow for college. But for many, borrowing is that reality. And I think it's important that everybody borrows in the name of the student first. That's going to be priority number one. That's those federal direct student loans. And then once that ends up coming up short, I think parents are going to have to work through the Parent Plus loan market. And remember, there's all these terminologies. There's federal direct loans. There's private loans. There are loans that are subsidized and loans that are unsubsidized. And I encourage everybody to work with the university's cash registrar's office, the financial aid office, or a good financial professional that can help people wade through everything that is the free application for federal student aid.
Now, students can make a pretty substantial mark when it comes to working in college.
Oh, absolutely. I think everybody wants to go to college, and we see all the stuff on TikTok and Insta and Facebook about spring break. But the reality is, if we can qualify for federal work study, that's going to be on-campus work. That's going to be fantastic. For everybody else that needs to get a job because you need some spending money, money doesn't come out of the ATM machine for free. The truth is, looking at the bulletin boards and message boards that are posted is another great place to get started, to have that work-life balance in college, which gets you ready for the big transition into the real world ultimately.
All right, and remember to compare and contrast your offers. And just remember that debt, it accrues over the years. Craig Bolanos, thank you so much for your advice. Appreciate your time.
Good to be with you.
All right, we'll put Craig's tips at abc7chicago.com.
5:40.